world. Amen? Come on, Darian. It's time to go down. Jordan River, so chilly and cold. Chilly and cold. Chilly and cold. Jordan River, so chilly and cold. Religion, so sweet. Let's sing that again.
Yes, Lord.
And this is what parents are supposed to do, right? They took the responsibility to make sure that their daughter was ready to get baptized. They didn't leave it up to the pastor. They didn't leave it up to chance. But they sat down with it. They went through what it means to be baptized. They're two godly people, Derek and Kim. They're really, really godly people. And I'm married to my right? And so it is my pleasure today to baptize in this day. So, Derek, but this is cool. All right, have you accepted the Lord as your personal Savior? And on the profession of your faith, Darian, I baptize you in the name of Jesus. Dedication. Mr. Khalil, come on, start making your way with your people all over here. Make sure everybody will get that. millions of babies are born every year. That's where our society ranks our kids at. But we'd just rather kill them and throw them in the furnace. But you didn't decide that. And I'm so glad Khalil has parents. And God had a great plan for his life. Just the fact that he's here. It's like Tedrick said, he's so much more. He's worth fighting for, right? And so eyes hadn't seen and ears hadn't heard what God has for his life. And so today we want to dedicate him to Jesus. And with our Christening, we want to christen him and make you guys godparents. And there's a reason why I explain this. So every time, and I'm going to look at y'all more because David and Keoga already know. I'm going to say I've already charged David a long time ago when I dedicated their house. And I think one time he wanted me to dedicate the car. But so I charged him. So here at the church, we take this very serious of living godparents. It's because David and Keoga are very great. I love them. They've been to the church. I had an opportunity to baptize Keoga. That was awesome. And then I even did the Lord's Prayer. So I've been doing it a long time. But when you have godparents right now, everybody want to have to be godparents and say, oh, I'm going to be the baby godparents. But it means so much more than just getting up here on the stage in front of everybody. It means godparents, and that's what it says. It's your responsibility, your call to lead this baby. Make sure that whatever happens, that this baby is going to be raised to love Jesus. He's going to be raised to honor and serve Jesus for the rest of his life. And by you accepting the role of godparents, you have a great influence on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge you out of the Bible. David and Keoga, I'm going to charge you guys again. And out of the Bible, out of Psalms 127, it says this. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builder labors in vain. Unless the Lord watches over a city, the guard stands watch in vain. In vain you rise early and you stay up late. You talk for food, for he grants sleep to those he loves. Children are a heritage from the Lord. Offspring are a reward from him. Like arrows in the hand of a mighty warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents at the court. So the Bible says this. It says, unless the Lord builds a house, unless the Lord's hand is in it, you can get up early, and you can stay out late, you can do all this stuff, but all your toil will be in vain. So you don't live your life to honor God. And God is not the way, he's not in front of your life. You're going to wake up and you're going to game, you're going to work, you're trying to make money and trying to make this life, but all of it is in vain. Because he said he gives rest, he gives sleep, he gives peace to those who love him. And then it goes on to charge the parents. David said this, David and Keoga. He said, children are a heritage from the Lord, the offspring are his reward. So many people take for granted the fact that they've had kids. They take for granted that their children are there. They think they're just a side piece or maybe an add-on to life. But the Bible says they're a reward from God. There's some people that would love to have kids in their home right now. And we pray that God allows them to have it. But God has blessed you with a beautiful young man, healthy. Never had to go to the hospital one time. He got out early. He came home. He's doing good. He's healthy. He's strong. 10 fingers, 10 toes in his right mind. Everything is going with him. So he's a heritage from God. So you have enough to be blessed about and to thank God. But he did not just give you that child just to say you had a baby. He said there's a heritage for God. That means that this child will outlive you. He will outlive your heritage, will go on even when you're dead and gone. This child will still be on. And that's our prayer over his life. That's why we're going to dedicate him to the Lord. He says, David, he says this, like hands, like arrows in the hands of a mighty warrior, or children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. So David, I'm going to start to charge you right now. The Bible says that a mighty warrior will take an arrow, that child, and he'll shoot him out in the world. And he'll be a generation changer. He'll be a change agent in his generation. Now, there are people changing the world for all kinds of things, but we want him to be a generation changer for the Lord. We want him to grow up and be the guy in his class who's just strange and love Jesus and singing praise and worship songs. We want him to be the man who represents what a strong father should be, a strong man should be, a strong grandfather should be. We want him to be an agent of change. So the way he's going to be that, just like I talked about last week, we can tell everything we want to our kids, but we have to model it. So David, could you be a father that can model what it means to be not just only a man, but a man of God? Could you do that then? And kill me. I want to charge you. Just like he's an arrow in the hand of David, the mighty warrior, he's an arrow in your hand. It's your job and your opportunity. One of the biggest influences, I believe, that a child has on his life is his mother, right? Dads are cool, but children just love. There's something about mom, right? And it's something, so it's your job and your ability and your duty to make sure that he grows up, his atmosphere, his culture at home is full of love and full of Jesus. It's one thing to have a child that come home and you buy them nice stuff, and we know of a lot of children that they got jaws on their feet but can't even say their prayers. But I'm charging you today that you make sure that you be a woman in front of him, that when he gets older, when he starts to look for his wife, he said, you know what? The standard is my mom, and I can't take anything less. So Keope, I'm charging you today. Could you be a woman in front of him? A woman in front of him that makes him always see the love of Jesus in you, and a mother that's going to always lead him to Jesus. Can I charge you with that? And godparents. Now, I want to charge you. One thing is that if something happened to David and Keope, y'all so far down the line of getting him hope or kickbox all y'all right now. She'll go live with him, trust me. So in times past, that was what godparents would. They would step in if something happened to the parents and raise the child. But we don't live in that culture anymore. With the culture we do live in, where influences are coming from all over. The Bible says, it talks about the influences of the world. It says if you run after the world, you're going to get the world prizes and you get friends with the world. You make yourself an enemy with God. So some days, we hope it's not the case, but we don't know what's going to happen a month or 2 years from now. I want to charge you right now, as godparents, not as friends of David and Keope or family, but as godparents, that you would do everything you can to ensure that when he goes out in the world, that he is prepared to face the spiritual challenges that's going to face him. You're going to make sure if he's not going to church consistently, if he's not reading his Bible consistently, if he's not following and chasing God consistently, that you will step in and say, hey, I'll take him to church with me, or hey, I'll teach you your Bible. I'm going to be your godmother, your nana, your power who's going to teach you your prayers, and I'm going to make sure that you're going to live a life and give him the best gift that you can ever give him. And that's Jesus. That's the best gift you can give. So if you can take that charge and say, you know what, as his godparents, I'm going to do everything in my ability to ensure for the rest of his life that he's always going to be pointed in the direction of God. Can you do that for me? And so I want to pray with you. And I'm going to pray with him. We're going to dedicate this baby to God, and we're going to pray for him in the congregation. I'm going to ask you guys, you know it all, my members of the prevailing church, I want to charge you that we're going to always create an environment here at the church that when he comes to this building, that is a place of love, and is a place of peace, and is a place of comfort, is a place where he can walk out his Christian experience. Could you do that for me? Am I charged you with that? Let me hear you respond by saying I will. So I need you to raise and hold the hands to this baby as we dedicate him to the Lord. Bow your heads, everybody. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this little Khalil, Lord. I thank you for the man that he's going to be, Lord. The man that you already planned, Lord. You said before we was put together in our mother's womb that you had a purpose and a plan for our life, Lord. So I pray, Lord, that the purpose and the plan that you have for his life, Lord, comes to pass, Lord. I ask from an early age, Lord, that he be filled with your spirit, Lord, that you start to order his footsteps from a young age, Lord, that you just continue to keep him, Lord. Help him to be aware of your presence, Lord, even right now, Lord, that he grows up, Lord, as he goes through life, Lord. I pray for protection over him, Lord. I ask that you subtract anybody or anything or any influence in his life, Lord, that's not going to be conducive to following you, Lord, that you start to take away anyone who will want to come and harm or hurt him, Lord. I bind Satan in his life right now, Lord. I ask that you subtract the influence of Satan that's going to try to come into his life and in his mind, Lord. Guard his heart and guard his mind right now, Lord. I ask that you add people, Lord. Add people to him, Lord, and around him, Lord, that's going to always encourage him to be be a follower of the Lord, Lord, that's always going to ensure that he knows you, Lord, and he walks after your purpose and your plan, Lord. I ask that you divide the plan of the enemy right now, Lord, that you take it away, Lord, that you just put a hedge of protection around, that he always walks in your anointing and the covering of your blood, Lord. I ask right now, Lord, that you just multiply, Lord. He's going to need to be taken care of in this life, Lord. Spiritual presence, Lord, not only spiritual things, Lord, but emotional health, Lord, and relational health, Lord, and financial health, Lord. I ask that you just cover him in that, Lord, and if he can only follow you, Lord. You said in your word, how can a young man succeed? And that's keeping your word, Lord. So I ask, Lord, that he always be a man of reading and studying of your Bible, Lord, and that you just continue to keep him, Lord. We dedicate this baby to you right now, Lord, that he's able to accomplish everything in the world, Lord, a generational changer, Lord, like that. He does everything, Lord, you call him to do, Lord. He's mighty in the land. In Jesus' name we pray. And everybody said, amen. All right. Let's give God a hand. Somebody not coming back to church right there. All right, Darian is ready. Oh, come on, Darian. You're not done yet. This is my favorite. I'm telling you, I love this. Here we go. Come on, Darian. Come on up on the stage. Y'all got better clap for Gary. Now, little sauce take that communion a bunch of times, but now you can. So let me go over the top. Now look how easy that was for Gary. All y'all struggle with communion. But it's what it represents. So all this stuff, I know you look beautiful with your dress. Yes. And you got baptized. And then you have a good party, and I'm all your aunts will give with $100. I just believe God for the rest. All that stuff is done well. But the reason why we come here, the reason why we come to church is because of what this represents. And one day we were on our way, everybody, we were on our way because we were sinners. We mess up a lot. Take stuff. We don't do right by other people. We covet and jealous of other people. Sometimes we mistreat all that good stuff. And we wasn't worthy enough to be in the presence of a holy God. And so the only place that we can go that's not heaven is hell. So when we had a loving Jesus and a loving Savior who said this, he said, you know what? I'll go to earth and I'll give my blood. And what the blood is, the Bible says this. It says what the blood does is it washes us of all our sins. It washes all our sins. And Jesus had to pay a heavy price. And he broke his body. They beat him to what it probably passed his life. But God kept him alive. He went to the cross for us. And he gave us holy and righteous blood so that when God looks at us, he doesn't look at us through what we've done. He looks at us through the blood of Jesus and what he did on the cross. And so Jesus told his disciples this on the last day before he went to the cross. He said, I want you to do something in remembrance of me. I want you to always remember what I did. I don't ever want you to forget. So on the night he was betrayed, he took bread and he broke it. And he said, take, eat it. This is my body that's broken for you there. And he thought about you way back 2019 years ago. He thought about everything. He was thinking about you. And he said, take this bread and eat it because this is my body. And he said, you see this red stuff in that cup? He said, that's the blood. Now the blood was keeping him alive at this point. He said, I'm going to pour out my blood for you. So that every time that you sin, no matter what the worst thing you ever could think about doing, my blood is still covering. And then you can go to heaven and be with me forever. And that's why God should say that this is my blood in the new covenant, in my blood for drink all. So let me pray. Serve and love you, Lord. I thank you for the passion, Lord, to want to be introduced into the kingdom, Lord, to be your child, Lord. I ask, Lord, from right now, from this moment on, Lord, that you always grow her, Lord. Order your steps, Lord. Always be with her, Lord. And no time, Lord, when her faith is weak, you always. She don't even feel like you're there, Lord. I ask that you send her a faith check and a reminder that you will never leave her or forsake her, Lord. She got a lifetime to go, Lord. And I ask, Lord, through every hill and valley that you're walking with her, Lord. And you just right now, Lord, let her know that she will never be alone, Lord, that she always has you, Lord. So give her a fresh anointing, give her a fresh anointing, Lord, that will outlast, Lord. I want to pray for all the people she will touch in her life, Lord, for every hungry person she's going to feed, every person she's going to give drink to, every person in the hospital she's going to visit, Lord, every piece of ministry she's going to do in her life, Lord, let her fall in love with you, Lord. Put her in every environment, Lord, that's going to be conducive to loving and serving you, Lord. So we love you and we thank you in Jesus' name. And the church said, amen. All right, it's word time now, everybody. So we're going to dismiss our kids to Children's Church. So we're going to let our kids, older kids go to the right, younger kids go to the left. Amen. Somebody looking up there like, how are you going to make this look old? Y'all got your Bibles? Amen. Hold them high. Hold them high like y'all ready for the word. I see somebody saying, church should be over now. I feel that spirit. I feel it in my spirit. Then he said, word. This is the word of God. And because of it, I prevail. Turn your Bibles over to 2 Kings chapter 18. We're going to talk about, so today, this is what we're going to talk about today. So you say, I pray, but, a lot of times in our walk with God, we get to the point where we find ourselves on this cycle of, you come to church and say, and then so you start praying and you start your prayer life and you start off with a bang. Anybody like when you start with prayer is good, I love being with Jesus, and then it gets mundane. And then sometimes you don't feel like doing it. And then some of y'all forget to do it. And then it goes and you say, well, Pastor, I pray about stuff, but sometimes my prayer is not answered. Sometimes I don't get what I want. Sometimes it don't work out the way I want it to work out. Sometimes, but let me tell you this, if you are, I'm going to say this, because I want to be real, this is the real church, right? If you are a blood-born believer, baptized, filled with the Spirit believer, when you pray and whatever happens, listen to me clearly, if you are living with Jesus, a blood-born, baptized believer, you're living with Jesus, the way it works out is the way God wanted it. Yes. You gotta get a better amen to that? Yes. If the way it works out is the way God wants it, might not work out the way you want, because thank God everything I prayed for didn't work out. I'm glad about that, right? But sometimes in the world, and I'm talking about people who are not, if you look at your life, and I can't judge you, but you can judge yourself. The Bible says judge yourself, right? So you can look at yourself, and if you are saying, Pastor, I'm praying, but none of my prayers get answered, guess what? Let me tell you this, and you can debate me on it later. I would love to debate, right? But guess what? The only prayer God answers without relationship is the sinner's prayer. I'm saying that again. The only prayer God answers without relationship is the sinner's prayer. What I mean, the person who is lost know Jesus and they reach out, because the Bible says everybody calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. And they say, you know what, from a true and pure spirit, say, Lord, I need you to save me, come into my life, and I want you to be my Lord and God forever. Guess what? At that moment, God answered their prayers. But this is what we have now in our society. You got so many people saying, you know what? I know God and I love God, but he never answers my prayers. And the reason why he don't answer your prayers is because he don't even know you. The Bible says one day people are going to get up there and say, Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name? Didn't we cast out demons in your name? And he's going to say, I never knew who you was. And then you talk to people and they say, well, I know the Lord. The Bible says, cool. You say you know the Lord? That's cool. But the demons know that, so that gets you nothing at all. But he's looking for a relationship with us. He wants to answer your prayers. He wants to do those things that's exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can actually think. He wants to do that, but you have to position yourself. So today, I want to teach you. We're going to take Hezekiah. We're going to take Hezekiah and we're going to look through some of the prayers. He prayed 3 prayers that's recorded in the Bible, and we're going to see how he prayed and how he got his prayers answered. So you have your Bibles? Y'all have first 2 Kings chapter 18? So let's look at Hezekiah right now. It says, in the 3rd year, y'all there? Hezekiah 2 Kings 18, chapter number 1. It says, in the 3rd year of Hosea, son of Elah, king of Israel, Hezekiah, son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 29 years. His mother's name was Abijah, daughter of Zechariah. So now we have this Hezekiah, right? We have this Hezekiah. He was 25 when he began to reign. So let me give you some idea of the environment Hezekiah grew up in, the environment that he was in, because we look at the Bible and we think the Bible, the culture is so foreign. They didn't experience the things we experienced. But guess what? The same thing that happened in the Bible, the players changed, but the environment is still the same, right? So Hezekiah grew up, his daddy was not. Last week I talked about a daddy and how important it was and how important fathers was, right? But not every time that you have a good father, your child is guaranteed to turn out and be a perfect human being or a good human being. There's no guarantee, and there's no guarantee that if you're a terrible father, that your child is not going to turn out to be a good Christian blood-bought believer, amen? So now Hezekiah grew up, his daddy was evil. This is what his daddy did. His daddy went to the Assyrians. Listen to this. It's going to be very important. His daddy went to the Assyrians, who was the enemy. It would be like going to the devil. And he went to the devil's house, the king of Assyria, and said, hey, you got a nice temple. I love the way you worship your God. I'm going to go back and take what I've learned here from the enemy, and I'm going to take it back. And he did this. Hezekiah's daddy, he went back to the temple of the Lord, set up the temple of God the way the Assyrians, who was the enemies, had his temple set up. He said, I want you to build me a temple like the Assyrians. Leave God's little altar over there, because I need to go back to there to get guidance. I want to go back over there and get some guidance. But guess what? Everything else I want to hear, isn't that just like our society? We have a little altar for God, maybe a little Sunday morning altar. Maybe I listen to praise and worship music, maybe on my YouTube channel, make a mistake and skip to it when I'm listening to the new jams. Okay, that'll happen to everybody. Just right, here we go. So they have a little altar over here, but everything else, I'm going to go to the world to get. I'm going to go to the enemy to get, right? But I got a little bit of Jesus, but I got a lot bit of everything else. His daddy was an evil man, and Hezekiah grew up watching this. But the Bible says Hezekiah, on top of all of that, not only his daddy was serving the enemy, his daddy was trying to hang out with the enemy and bring the enemy's way of doing things back to the people of God. There were 2 tribes in Israel at this time. Listen to me, because they had 10 tribes to the north, right? They had 10 tribes to the north, and they had 2 tribes to the south. The southern tribe is where we get the Jews from today, right? Everybody who was in the Bible on Israel is not a Jew, right? It was the tribe of Judah and half the tribe of Manasseh. They were very small. Well, Israel decided they didn't want to worship God. So God sent the Assyrians to go in and totally destroy the 10 tribes to the north, destroy the company, take everybody to exile. Hezekiah is watching all of this happen. However, this is how Hezekiah built his spiritual recipe. If you want your prayers answered by God, you have to build a spiritual resume in order to make a demand on God. Because remember, God only answers prayers in relationship. So let's look at Hezekiah's relationship. Verse number 4. It says, when Hezekiah became king, he did what was right. Verse number 3. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, just as his father David had done. Let's stop right there. Now, we all know David was not perfect. That whole episode with Bathsheba and killing Uriah and all that stuff, we know he wasn't perfect, but guess what? In the eyes of God, he was perfect, because God is not caught off guard by your sins. Right? He's not sitting there like, the sinner just sinned. No. He already knows we're going to fall short. That's why he sent Jesus. Now, the Bible, let's just put this right here. It don't say keep on sinning and keep on doing dirt. That's iniquity. That's the kind of stuff that'll send you to hell. But he said he knew. So David messed up. But the Bible said Hezekiah was just like, he did right in the eyes of the Lord, just like his father David. And here we go. So it keeps going. David had verse number 4. He said this is what he did. He removed the high places. High places are considered worship that is not ordained by God. So he removed the false way of worshiping that his daddy put in the temple. He smashed the sacred stones that represents idols, that represents things that we do in our life, that we start to worship, that we put before God. He got rid of that. He smashed all that stuff, and he cut down the Asherah pole. The Asherah pole represents sex in the Bible. If you want to see unsanctioned, God-ordained adultery, that's what the Asherah pole represents. So he got rid of the false worship, he got rid of the idols, and he got rid of the way of having sex that was not ordained by God. He totally got rid of that stuff. He cleaned up his life. And let me just put this here. He didn't do this until he became king. You know what that tells me? If he did it when he became king, he didn't go out and try to take stuff that was other people's stuff. Because sometimes we get it messed up as Christians. We think it's our job to play the God police. Right. We think it's our job to go in other people's business and tell them this. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I'm telling you in God. I'm not your judge. I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. I'm going to just keep on serving God. Now I'm going to be the light for you, and I'm going to shine it. But all I can do is pray for you, because I got a relationship. I can pray with you. But he did not go around smashing other people's stuff. He waited until he became king, and he did what he can do in his area of influence. Y'all with me? I'm taking y'all somewhere. This is another thing he did. He broke into pieces the bronze snake Moses had made. For up to that point, the Israelites had been burning incense to it. It was called, I'm not going to say that word. You feel free to make up how you want to say it, and then we'll roll it down. But this is what he did. He went in. So what happened was, when the children of Israel was in the desert, when they was in the wilderness, they started getting into some sin. So God said, you know what? I'm tired of these people. I'm going to send some snakes in their camp to bite it. And then so what he did was, the snakes was biting everybody. People were dying by the thousands. And so Moses went to intercede for God and said, hold up, God. They sorry for what they did. I'm interceding on their behalf. He said, I tell you what, make a bronze snake and set it up. And when anybody looks at the bronze snake, they will be healed from the snake bite. That's where we get the word. Jesus said this in the New Testament. He said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. Right? He was talking about the bronze snake. So up until that point, God had did a great thing at that time by giving deliverance to the people from lifting up the bronze snake, but that time had passed. And so what they had got caught up into, they got caught up into a little trap of the enemy called religion. Religion is this. Religion is God was moving some way at one point, and it was working, and that thing was, the gold snake was getting people healed, and the gold snake was getting people delivered from death, and it worked out good. But it was a time when God had moved, and they put the power into the snake instead of into the God that put the power into the snake. And we mess up when we start following rules and tradition and religion and things like that, and we get stuck on that. The only way you're going to be if you put on some stockings and wear your chapter cap. Right? Because we got right. At one time, God moved that way, but God and never chase the thing. Because worship is going to change, buildings are going to change, people are going to change, but God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And if we start moving where they want us to have church on the roof, I'll probably be up there by myself. But I'll be up there serving God by myself. Let's go. So he went in, Hezekiah went in, he took away the stones, he took away the idol worship, he took away the wrong way of having sex, and he took away the religion. The Bible says this about Hezekiah. I'm trying to get your prayers. That Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel. There was no one like him amongst all the kings of Judah, neither before him or after him. Listen to this. He held fast to the Lord and did not stop following him. Listen to his resume. He did all that for the Lord. It wasn't popular. People didn't like him. They probably talked about him. His family walked away from him. His friends didn't like him. But he kept on trusting in God and holding fast to him and did not follow him. He kept the commands of the Lord had given Moses. Now let me put a page right there. Take your Bible and turn over to Psalms 19 right quick. Leave a little tab right there and turn over to Psalm 19. Verse number 1. So it says, he held fast to the commands of the Lord and did not stop following him. Y'all, that's Psalm 19? Verse number 1. This is what it says. If you want to be blessed, young man, if you want to be blessed, young lady, if you want to be blessed, old lady and old man, where you go? It says, blessed are those whose ways are blameless, and who walk is according to the law of the Lord. Blessed are those who keep his statutes and seek him with all their heart. They do no wrong, but follow his ways. You have laid down your precepts that are to be fully obeyed. Oh, that my ways are steadfast in obeying your decrees. Then I will... 119? What I told y'all? 19. I'm going to say I'm the pastor. I got the mic. All y'all wrong. Turn over to 119. Because somebody was looking, one of the visitors was looking like, who's crazy? Y'all at 119? Well, I'm at verse 6 now. Y'all see me. Y'all there? Verse number 1. It says, blessed are those whose ways are blameless, who walk according to the law of the Lord. Blessed are those who keep his statutes and seek him with all their heart. They do no wrong, but they follow his ways. You have laid down your precepts that are to be fully obeyed. Oh, that my ways are steadfast in obeying your decrees. Then I will not be put to shame when I consider all your commands. I will praise you with the upright heart as I learn your righteous ways. I will obey your decrees. Do not utterly forsake me. Listen to this, verse 9. How can a young person stay on the path of purity? By living according to your word. I will seek you with all my heart. Do not let me stray from your commands. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. It said this. David had said it. David wrote this song before Hezekiah was born. David said, if you want to be successful, if you want to be blessed, if you want to not be put to shame and walk out the way of God, guess what? Keep his commandment. Not only keep them, but David said, I hide it in my heart that I may not sin. I'm not worried about what everybody else does. I'm not worried about where the world going, right? I don't want to sin against you, God, because if I keep you in front of me, I can do no wrong. So that's what Hezekiah did. Flip back over. Let's see. Look at his spiritual resume. Verse number 7. And the Lord was with him. He was successful in whatever he undertook. So now he's put out his spiritual resumes. So let's talk about his prayer. So this is a guy. He loved the Lord. He kept the Bible. So just because you love the Lord and do right in his eyes, just because you come to church don't mean you won't have trouble. So the first event, after he was doing all this good stuff with God, he got it all taken care of. He loved the Lord. He walked away. He didn't walk according to the world. So then they had a king that came. The king of the Assyrians. Remember I told you his daddy was serving his daddy was serving and serving like the king of Assyria. When you invite the enemy into your house, it might be cool at first, and y'all might get along just fine. But eventually, the enemy is going. My mom used to always say, "Don't let him ride. He might born drive." Oh, that was a song, right? And she used to always say, she said, "Don't let the devil ride, because he's going to want to take the wheel," right? So the daddy let the king ride. Hezekiah said, "Nah, we're not worshiping the way you." The devil said, "Okay, you don't want to do it my way. I'm coming to get all my stuff back. I want all of it." That's why when you truly start to give your life to Christ, all hell breaks loose. Why? Not because you did anything wrong. It's because Satan said, "You know what? Oh, you remember that car you got? You remember how you lied, cheated, stole to get it? Give me my stuff." Right? That relationship you in? You remember it? Oh, yeah. First night, you remember that, huh? I don't want it no more. You got to give it back. He's mine. You may have had it once, but he's mine. You know what I'm saying? He said all that stuff, right? The devil, he played for keeps, right? So the enemy came back. King of Assyria came back. His name was Sennacherib. I knew that one because that one was so hard. I knew y'all be impressed if I knew how to pronounce it. So I worked on it. So the king named Sennacherib, he came back. The king of Assyria said, "You know what? We're going to get all our stuff." So he comes out, he goes out to the gate, and he starts to talk to Hezekiah and his people. They got the kingdom all locked up, and everybody just sitting out there on the gate saying, "Yep, you can't get in here," right? And this is what the king said. The enemy said this. Before he blew the page up, if you look down in 18 chapter 25, it said, "Furthermore, this is the king Sennacherib sent his messenger." And this is what the enemy does us, right? He said this. He said, "Furthermore, have I come to attack and destroy this place?" Listen to this. "And destroy this place without a word from the Lord? The Lord himself told me to march out against y'all, against this country and destroy it." So the first thing the enemy does is he uses the word. Satan knows the Bible better than you. That's how he tried to get Jesus. He said, "It is written, it is written, it is written." Jesus said, "Oh, you know the Bible, but it is written, it is written." And then he says, "It is said." He said, "I'm going to speak the real word of God." He said, when he said, "It is said," Satan left. Satan used the word of God. Satan talked, the enemy talked to the people. He said, "The Lord told me to do this." Just imagine, everybody who said, "The Lord told me," ain't for you to be believed. Right? Because when you say somebody said, "The Lord told me," you're like, "Okay, here's my whole check," and then your lights get cut off. But no, you better know what the Bible says. The Bible didn't say, "I give you my money and God gonna give me more money." It says, "If a man don't work, he don't eat." So I tell you what, I'm gonna keep mine. I'm gonna go my butt to work, put some gas in the car, and then when I come back, my lights gonna be clean. Look again. And you do the same thing, right? Here we go. Listen, he said, so he couldn't get it with that. The people didn't come out. So this is what he tells them next. If you skip down to verse number 29, he said, the king said this. The king said another message. He couldn't get him with, "The Lord told me." He said this. He says, "Do not let Hezekiah deceive you. He cannot deliver you from my hands. Do not let Hezekiah persuade you to trust in the Lord." Now, right before that, he was talking about the Lord told me to do this. Now, since that didn't work, he's trying to levitate. He said, Don't let him tell you to trust in the Lord. When he says the Lord will surely deliver the city, this city will not be given into the hands of the king of Assyria. Listen to this. So he said, he starts to offer himself. He said, don't listen to Hezekiah, verse number 31. He said, this is what the king of Assyria says. "Make peace with me and come out. Then each of you will eat fruit from your own vine and fig tree and drink water from your own cistern until I come and take you to the land like yours, a land with grain and new wine, a land with bread and vineyards, a land with olive trees and honey. Choose life, not death." Does that sound familiar? Choose life and not death. He said, you know what? If you don't believe that if I lie on Jesus, if you don't believe that, guess what? I got all this stuff. He just was saying, I want to destroy the land. And then right after that, see, you got to be mindful of how the enemy tries to trick you. And it does not always come with this evil, like yesterday I told my kids, I said, "Hey, y'all want to go see, we went to see Toy Story 4, right?" I said, y'all like movies about toys? They were like, "Yeah." I said, "Let's go see Child's Play." That's the story about toys, right? So, Andrew like, yeah, let's go see each other. We said, hold up. Let us see the photo. You see. But that's what the enemy do. It's what? Toy Story and Chucky, they sound just the same, right? The truth of the matter is, right, I was deceiving them, so I should have the devil. I should have put myself as the devil in the story. However, right, did I lie to them? It's a story about toys. Right, Chucky is a toy, but it's not good for them. And that's what he said. He said, you know what? Come on. I'll give you a lamb flowing with milk and honey. He said, choose life and not death. He was quoting a scripture from the Bible. This day I set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life. Y'all know the scripture, right? So now, this is what Hezekiah did. Hezekiah didn't want to fight the battle. Turn over Hezekiah didn't go out and say he was going to fight on his own. This is what he did. Chapter number 19, go over to verse number 14. 19:14. Are you there? Say amen. He said Hezekiah received a letter from the messenger and read it. Then he went into the temple. He went to the temple of the Lord. Where is that? That's church, right? He spread it out before the Lord. So he took his petition. That's why church is so important on Sunday. He took his petition. He didn't say, I'm going to take my petition to my 18. I'm going to take it to my uncle. I'm going to take it to my mama. Matter of fact, I'm going to take it to the corner. I'm going to take it to James. He said, I'm going to take my petition. I got to go bring this before the Lord. Amen. So he went to church on Sunday. On their day, it was the Saturday. He went to church and he spread his request out before God. And Hezekiah prayed to the Lord. Listen to this. You want to get your prayers answered. When you're praying against the enemy, this is how you pray. When you're praying against the enemy, he said, Lord, God of Israel, enthroned between the cherubim, you alone are God over all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made the heavens and earth. So the first thing he did, he acknowledged who God was. And he acknowledged his strength and his position in his life. He said, you are higher than me. You're up in heaven. You're holy. You're a righteous God. Then, after that, he made his petition. Verse 16, he said, give ear, Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, Lord, and see. Listen to the words of Sennacherib, has sent to ridicule the living God. So he made the issue not about him, Lord, it's not about me, but listen to what he sent to ridicule. He's talking to us against you, God. He's talking to us against you. It is true, Lord, that the king of Assyria has laid waste to the nations and their land. They have thrown their gods into the fire and destroyed them, for they are not gods, but only wood and stone, fashioned by human hands. Now, Lord our God, deliver us from his hands, so that all the kingdoms of the earth may know you alone are God. So this is what he said. Now I will play it again, right? I got two more prayers, right? I got two more prayers to go through, right? We're praying against the enemy. It's the right prayer, the prayer with relationship, and the prayer without relationship. The prayer without relationship says this. It says, Lord, I'm beefing with this dude on my job. Lord, he get on my nerve when I go in the morning. As a fact, he taking my food out of my cooler. He making my job hard. I need you to get rid of him, God, but I can go to work and have a peace of mind for myself, and I can do this, Lord. I want you to come in and just smite him, Jesus, because he making it tough for me. I just can't even think when I hate going to work, God. Could you come and do something about it? That's a prayer that's designed for you. And if God answers that prayer, guess who's the only person going to benefit? You, right? This is how you pray with right relationship. Hezekiah made it about God. God, he talking to us about you. And God, everybody needs to know that you're God. This is the prayer with relationship. This is how you should be praying about your enemy. Look, Lord, you are God and you are lifted up. Now, Lord, you said in your word, my battle ain't against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness. Lord, and right now, Satan get the best of your child. right? And because, Lord, I want to be on my job, and I go to work, and when I go to work, I talk to people about the Bible, Lord. And when I go to work, Lord, I tell people how good you are, Lord. And I can't tell people how good you are if this guy keeps trying to destroy me every time. Lord, I'm frustrated. I can't even do your will. I can't invite anybody to church, Lord. And you know, Lord, I pay tithes and offering on that money. Amen. Amen. There you go, B. Right? My money is protected, Lord. So what I get, I use it to advance your kingdom, Lord. And if I lose this job, or if he get me run out of here, I can't advance the kingdom, Lord. So I need you to deliver me, either find me a new job, or get rid of this dude, or get him saved. I need one of the two, for everybody can know. But I can tell everybody, look what God did for me. Yes. You remember how he used to treat me bad? Now he's my friend. Yes. So, and Lord, I want to show your glory. Guess what? God answers those types of prayer. Because God has a vested interest. If he takes care of you, guess what? His kingdom goes forward. You going on your job, that's why we got to have a spiritual resume, right? The next thing he did, right? And I'm not going to go there. It's 2 Chronicles chapter 30. It had another instance where Hezekiah had to pray for people. It was the situation where Hezekiah decided, he said, guess what, everybody? They ain't been having church. Nobody been having church. It's been so long since we've had church around here. We're going to celebrate the Passover. And we're going to celebrate the Passover, and we're going to do it for the first time. The Bible said they had completely stopped celebrating the Passover. Hezekiah said, we're going to do it. So he gathered all the cows he had and all the sacrifice he had, and he said, everybody from everywhere, you can come and worship for the Passover. So the people came in. The people started coming in. They had a church packed full of people, but there were certain rules. There were certain rules that had to be followed if you were going to celebrate and eat the Passover. You had to be clean before God, or you'll get smited. You'll get struck down for taking the things of God and using it contemptuously. Right? So it was a sin for the people to eat the Passover. So now, I talked about praying for your enemies. Now let me teach you about how to get prayers answered for people. For other people, not yourself, right? Because God got you for other people. He said this, the Bible says that Hezekiah went to God. He said, Lord, you are God that's high and lifted up, God of all heaven. Lord, you bless people who set their hearts to serve you. But everybody who wants to serve you, Lord, you bless them. So I'm asking, Lord, they've set their heart to serve you. I'm asking that you forgive them for the sins that they've committed. I know they messed up. They shouldn't have done it. But Lord, they're trying to worship you. The Bible said, God healed the people. So what that tells me is that God had cursed the people. God had made them sick. But he went and he interceded on behalf of people. Let's go with relationship, without relationship. Prayers that's praying for people without relationship. Lord, I need you to bless my cousin, Lord. I need you to bless my cousin because I want to go out this weekend. Oh, y'all know it's true? Y'all looking at me? I want to, Lord, I know we always, we hang out together. We do our thing, and she's my friend. So I need you to bless her. She's in a financial problem. She needs healing. I need you, because Lord, I need you to, because I'm your child. And I want to be happy, so bless them on my behalf. And guess what? If God answers that prayer, who's the only person who's going to be blessed? Or two people, you and your cousin, right? Y'all be happy. He'll bless. If he did, he'll bless them financially. Y'all take that same financial blessing and do things in the world. Prayers with God. Lord, you bless people, Lord. And I've been inviting my cousin to church. Lord, I've been praying for a long time, Lord. And I need you, Lord. She's sick because she's financially broke, Lord. Her husband beat upside the head, Argentina style, the other day. I'm serious. Lord, I need you to give her deliverance. Okay, let's wife. Let's go with wife. Let's go with husband. Right? Let's get closer, Lord. I need you to bless him, Lord. I know he's no good. I know he's doing wrong, Lord. But I'm your child, Lord. And Lord, I'm your child, and I want him saved. I don't want him to go to hell, Lord. So I don't want him to go to hell, Lord. I need you to save him because you created him, Lord. You saw fit to form him in his mama womb. He just don't realize it yet, Lord. I ask that you save him, Lord. And if you save him, Lord, I'll take him to church. I'll make sure he go to church, Lord. And why? God will answer that prayer. You know why?
Yes.
He might not answer when you want him to answer it, but he's going to eventually answer it. Why? Because once he gets saved, or once cuz or auntie or uncle them get saved, guess what? That's one more added to the kingdom. And that one more saved the whole family. So God want to bless those people. Now, last prayer he prayed was a prayer of healing. Now, this is the one that's the most important. Turn everybody in here, turn your Bibles to to 2 Kings chapter 20, verse number 1. And I want you to listen to this because this is very, very, very important. And I want to speak to you about this. Because everybody here, you keep living. If you keep living, you're going to need this prayer. I talked about earlier, the spiritual resume. And okay, let me say this. If you've been doing stuff for Christ, you should feel real confident about this. You should feel real confident about getting this prayer answered for yourself. I talked about your enemies. I talked about your family, your friends, and all that good stuff. I want to talk about you now, right? So if you got the spiritual resume, Hezekiah, remember I told you? He walked in the cause with God. He chased out stuff. He went against what people told him. He said, you know what? Y'all can't have church like that up in here. Y'all got to get rid of them idols. Y'all got to get rid of that stuff. He walked away. He wasn't popular. People didn't like him. You want your prayers answered. This is the key. If you don't get nothing else out of this sermon, I need you to get this. This is praying for yourself. Look at Hezekiah. Okay. He did all that for the Lord. Right? He did all that stuff for the Lord. The king wanted to kill him. He prayed. The people should have went there. They should have been sick. And they should have been, God cursed the people. They were sick, right? But now it's his. See, because something about, it's easy praying for everybody else. Right? It's cool. It's cool praying. I like praying for everybody else. But it's hard praying for yourself. Right? It's hard because when you pray for yourself, that's on you and your faith. That's on you and your walk with God. So this is Hezekiah in those days, after he had done all that. Hezekiah became ill and was at the point of death. You need to tell me, God, sometimes life ain't fair. Sometimes things happen to good people. And you like, look at all these people out here doing dirt. All these people out here messing up. And none of them got sick. Look at all of them. They look like their marriage working. They look like they're healthy, they're strong, they got money in the bank, they drive a nice car. And here I am. I pay my tithes and offering. I go to church on Sunday. I worship you. And I'm the one, my house going into foreclosure. I'm the one that's having all these relational problems. Lord, why me, Lord? Why this happening? Okay, put a finger there. Turn over to Psalm 37. Turn over to Psalm 37. Go right there. I promise you. Psalm 37, verse number 1. Y'all got it? Say amen. Amen. He said, do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. But as for you, verse number 3, trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pastures. Listen to this. Take delight in, somebody need to highlight that one, right? Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. He said, if you delight in him, remember I talked about spiritual resume? He said, guess what? If you delight, you're building your spiritual resume. I delight you. He said, if you delight in me, I'll give you the desire of your heart. You just got to put some desires there, and I'm going to give you that stuff. Flip back over to Hezekiah. I just told you that. So now Hezekiah been through. King Sennacherib ain't sick.